That's his son.
Yeah. First of all, Jay-Z offered him money. At first, he offered him bread, like, and everything, but his aunt didn't, like, approve of it. She said, no, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on. The lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but Young Boy's so thorough, though, he just want a dad. He not trying to get no money, he not trying to do none of that. But something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sound kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and it was a gun in his car. Like, when he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said so he went to go, like, call his man, like, yo, did you leave a gun in my car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, no, that's not my guns. Like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen somebody pulled up and put the guns in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, bro, I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know what. He's like, yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order against him, like trying to get a gag order and trying to. If my thing is, if it's not my son, I'll just take a test, get over with. Yeah.
Has Ramir Satterwhite finally gotten Jay-Z to admit that he's his biological father? Because after 10 years of Jay-Z twisting and turning, every which way just to avoid taking a paternity test, the court has finally put its foot down and ordered Jay-Z to get those DNA tests done for once and for all.
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not as far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take it. No, I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing.
And believe me when I say that these findings have left the Carter family in a bind, since Jay-Z's history may finally be coming back to haunt him. According to reports, the DNA test validated Ramirez's claims that he is Jay-Z's eldest son, which he has been making for decades. And now that everyone is criticizing Jay-Z for causing Ramirez to go through all of this chaos, Matthew is telling Jay-Z how much he messed up this time. Furthermore, Jay-Z's involvement in any controversy usually involves Beyonce, so this isn't simply a straightforward father-son conflict. Additionally, Matthew isn't supporting Jay-Z. He keeps embarrassing his daughter and entangling her in situations that aren't her fault and that she shouldn't be in. Okay, everyone, given that Ramir Satterwhite made significant progress in his decades-long lawsuit against Jay-Z, it appears that Jay-Z will no longer be able to run with this paternity farce. According to reports, the judge allowed his case to proceed in the end and mandated that Jay-Z submit DNA samples in order to end the drama. If you have been following this case at all, you are aware that it has taken a long time to resolve. And at one time, it appeared as though it would never happen since Jay-Z has the financial means to continue this without providing Ramir with what he is entitled to.
Any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is, like, cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth, and if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why are you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with.
When Ramirez initially filed his paternity suit against Jay-Z in 2010, that's when we first learned about him. Ramirez's attempts to get the lawsuit moving forward at the time were all thwarted by legal obstacles, and this was just 2 years after Jay-Z and Beyonce were married. Because he was already 18 when the complaint was filed, the Pennsylvania courts decided against him. He brought the matter all the way to New Jersey from Pennsylvania. Jay-Z's legal team countered that since he had no personal or business connections to New Jersey, there was no need for him to submit to a DNA test there. Thus, the lawsuit was dismissed by the judge. But Ramirez's attorney swiftly raised an objection, presenting tax records demonstrating that Shawn Carter did have connections to New Jersey. Nevertheless, Jay-Z's attorneys redoubled their efforts, claiming that there is no concrete evidence that the Shawn Carter in those records is, in fact, Jay-Z. Even though it looked like such a little matter, it was sufficient to have the case dismissed once more. Ramirez persisted though, disclosing private information that demonstrated why he thinks Jay-Z may be his father. He claims that his mother began dating Jay-Z, who was 22 at the time, when she was just 16 years old. When Remir was born in 1993, his mother had reconnected with Robert Graves, her high school love, and Jay-Z was no longer in contact with her. Although she eventually told her son who his biological father is, she first believed that adding Robert's name to Remir's birth certificate was the wisest course of action. Robert was not Remir's father, according to the findings of a DNA test that Remir had with him. And Jay-Z essentially searched for any way to get out of handing up his DNA when it came time for him to take the test.
Right now, I feel like I got a bigger fight. This is part of my life, so I won't stop fighting for, the paternity or anything else. Whatever I put my mind to, I fully go. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but if it is, honestly, you cannot do things like that. You will get what you deserve. I don't know what them guys was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. If it's true, only he can respond and get himself out of this.
Ramirez's case got so...
Ramirez's case became so well known that the ACLU and NAACP took up the cause and supported him. He then reopened the case in 2014, but it was dismissed as quickly because he was unable to establish that Sean Carter in those documents was, in fact, Jay-Z. The case has now reached the New Jersey Supreme Court, where Jay-Z was ordered to take the test by the court. Reaching this stage has been a huge victory for Ramirez ever since he made these accusations, the internet has attacked him, accusing him of only seeking a fast money grab and using his influence. However, if you've paid attention to him, he has repeatedly stated that he doesn't give a damn about the celebrity, the money, or the attention. He merely desired a resolution on his father's identity, and pursuing Jay-Z on a regular basis has only caused him problems due to the harassment and intimidation from Jay-Z's group. He even once discovered a pistol in his car while attempting to determine how it got there. When the police arrived, they began questioning him. According to Ramir, if it weren't for the security tape showing someone placing the pistol in his car, the police would have merely hauled him into custody. Since he is aware of the facts and will always feel as though he has some unresolved business, this is truly not about the money for him.
I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, so I can't get in there and actually know fully what's going on. I'm only there to, say what I believe in, and, you guys can put me on the lie detector test, anything else you want me to do. I always been here to stand on the truth. I told them if it was wrong, I'm a man, I can apologize, but for me to go in there and ask for fair due process and not get it, and they just throw you all around like you're a rag doll, I just find that to be crazy, and I really think we need to change that. Like, it's craziness, I'm not asking for nothing. I've always been on here. I wasn't never asking for nothing. People can say what they want. As I said, I work, I'm doing great. I gotta take care of my kids. Like, I'm driving a nice car, I'm getting nice income. So it's not like I never been here asking for nothing or trying to get 15 minutes of fame. So people just gotta realize that these court systems and these people that's out here and controlling these people that's in the court systems, we need to change it, because we can't go and get fair due process. What are we all paying taxes?
Ramir is so glad that he can finally see the end of the situation, now that it appears that the law is on his side. However, would you like to know who isn't feeling too joyful at the moment? Matthew is aware of this, as rumors are circulating that he is becoming increasingly irritated with Jay-Z's past resurfacing. Not only due to Beyonce, however. Jay-Z's purported connection with Diddy, the infidelity scandals, and now this. Beyonce always finds herself entangled in it, and not in a positive manner. You can't even begin to picture the type of turmoil that would befall the Carters if the DNA findings showed that Jay-Z is indeed Ramir's father and had contact with his mother while she was a minor. Furthermore, this goes beyond Jay-Z and Beyonce, since this revelation has the potential to demolish all they have fought so hard to achieve and blow up their whole legacy. It is also about their family. Jay-Z must ensure that the door remains locked to safeguard his family. That is, the family he truly wishes to claim. Jay-Z has responded to Ramir's accusations in a very clear manner for the first time since this whole thing began, suggesting that he may be taking Matthew Knowles' remarks seriously. He said that this case is the most recent phase of what he describes as a decades-long campaign of harassment, and that Ramir has persisted in speaking to anybody who will listen to him, even though several courts have heard and dismissed his claims. In addition, Jay-Z's legal team has refuted Ramir's allegations that they intimidated him, calling them outright lies. They claim that they did attempt to contact Satterthwaite's guardian to see if they could set up a meeting, but they were received with anger, and since then, they have stopped attempting to communicate. I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I believe Jay-Z and his group are holding out far longer than is necessary. Why not just do the DNA test and stop it if he is so certain that Ramiri is not his son? There may be some truth or a lot of truth to what Ramiri has been saying, and the internet undoubtedly believes that there is something wrong with Jay-Z's constant evasion of the truth, given that he has been content to let this drag on for years rather than finally resolving it. I'm genuinely worried about Ramiri. It's devastating to have to plead with Jay-Z for years to take a paternity test. To protect him, I hope he has reasonable legal counsel. The ability to purportedly influence the justice system is absurd. Enough is enough. Take the test. I won't tell lies. Jay-Z isn't the ninja you all believe him to be if it turns out that this is indeed his son, and that Jay ignored him for all these years. Since it's some loser ass, even if Jay-Z wanted to, I don't think he could claim Ramiri. Because we'll all know that he's a PDF and has been evading the DNA test if he doesn't. I hope Ramir receives the justice he is due. However, do you guys believe that Jay-Z may actually be Ramir's father? And have you actually looked at a photo of the two of them side by side? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. And remember to like and subscribe, as we will be discussing a lot more drama on this subject. I'll see you in the upcoming video too. Goodbye, Betties.